Hello and welcome back to another video. As you can see, I'm energized from the last video, and if you probably saw in the first, it's actually been a couple minutes since I recorded the other video. I took a break to watch a what if, and I feel a lot better. So let's get into it. Now, where we last left off, Izuku just finished telling off his parents. We're gonna have two perspectives in this first half. First, we have Izuku's parents. How dare he? We thought he was dead. How dare he even choose to come to this school? I'll teach him a lesson he'll never forget. As Izumi was quiet on the car ride home, they thought she was upset because of what Izuku said about her and about them, but she actually was happy. She didn't know why, but she had this attraction to Izuku. She thought he was so cool the way he stood up to their parents and how he was so much stronger now and how he seemed to be more ambitious. She didn't know what these feelings were, but as we all know, she's a simp and it's gonna end badly for our boy Izuku in this what if, I'm not gonna lie. Now we get back to Izuku. Izuku went to the store and this is his inner monologue. Ah, shit, I forgot to bring my notepad. Well, I'll just take what I need and pay for it and try not to say anything. Because, as you know, Snake Eyes doesn't talk, and Izuku is trying to be more like his master. And Izuku proceeds to buy um, 3 energy drinks, a bag of chips, a chocolate bar, a soda, and a bit of beef jerky. And he proceeds to walk to the cash register, English. As he proceeds to see one of his friends, or someone who's in his class, because he doesn't make friends yet, I just got so used to saying it, he saw Ochako Uraka. As he walked up, her saying, "Hi, you're Izuku, right?" As he would nod. "Oh, let me ring you up real quick." As she proceeded to take the things that he would have gotten and proceeded to scan them. "Okay, your total is 1850. As Izuku would proceed to hand the money to her. "I guess you're wondering what someone's in UA is doing at this convenience store. I actually do part-time work. On most days I'm here, and at other days I'm a waiter at a restaurant. But it's pretty cool working in these industries because I get to meet a lot of cool people," as Izuku would nod. "Anyway, thanks for listening to me. I'll see you at school tomorrow," as Izuku would walk away. Him in his mind. She seems nice, I guess. Better than some people that I know. Sorry about that. I'm actually recording outside and my neighbor's kids are making a bunch of noise, so please bear with me. I'm planning to buy a mic for this phone soon. Anyway, let's get back. As Izuku would proceed to walk home with his groceries, going inside and studying up, and proceeding to exercise and train before going to bed. Now we get to the next day. Izuku is the first one in class, obviously, because he lives in the dormitory system. Even though Class 1A isn't aware of it yet, but the second years and third years are aware of it. And Izuku is the only first year that lives in the dormitory system. Now, we get to the school day, everyone proceeding to socialize and talk to each other, making friends, establishing friend groups, while Izuku talks to no one. He's completely quiet and he prefers to observe, watching everyone and trying to get to know their likes, dislikes, and weaknesses from the sidelines, in case he would have to fight any of them. Now we get throughout the school day, as the last class would be them going to the USJ. Now we proceed to see everyone on the bus while they're talking about their quirks and talking about each other and their likes and dislikes as Izuku proceeds to absorb this information. And he felt like someone was watching him, but everyone was looking at each other, so he didn't really think about it. But it was Izumi. She was sitting in the back, watching him and blushing a lot. But because of Izuku and Bakugo sitting up close to the front, people would have thought she was blushing at Bakugo because of their dynamic. Even though they seem like rivals, they think that she might have a crush on him. They're exerting Izuku because he's the quiet type of the class. So yeah, as everyone would proceed to explain their quirks, they would get to Izuku. Suyu saying, Izuku, I know that you're quirkless, but what can you do? Izuku proceeded to write down on his notepad, and this notepad that he had received, it is a electronic notepad, so whatever he writes, it says it in a voice. Now I'll be talking to say whatever he writes down, so just keep in mind, he is not talking. It is a notepad. I'll let you know when he is talking. I don't have a quirk, but I have training. I have been training for the last, um, I want to say, what did I say? I have been training for the last 14 years in the Arashikage fighting style. My master, who was a late army veteran in the special ops, he taught me everything he knew. I basically got hand-to-hand training, weapons training, demolition training, survival training, and endurance training, and a couple secret techniques that I shouldn't say. But I'm pretty fluent in all manners of combat, so it makes up for me not having a quirk. Everyone would proceed to admire that, saying that even though he's quirkless, he still produces skills that far exceeds a quirk, even though some quirks are powerful. He's basically on par with some of the more stronger people in their class. As they would proceed to get to the USJ, 13 doing her whole speech, Uraraka fangirling over it, and Izumi proceeding to be a creep staring at Izuku. But because Bakugo is standing close to Izuku, it's in his general area of it's in her general area of sight, so people think that she's staring after Bakugo. But Izuku would get a feeling in his gut, and he would walk over to Aizawa, gesturing to Aizawa in sign language or code that he has a suspicion. Aizawa, obviously knowing a lot, he would probably know sign language or Morse code, so he would proceed to get on guard. As the portal would open and all of the villains would proceed to step out, Kirishima proceeded to say, "Whoa, they even have fake villains." Aizawa saying, "Those aren't fake villains." And instead of Aizawa being the first one to rush in, it would be Izuku. Izuku grabbing Excrema sticks from his arsenal that he has. Now, the weapons that he was permitted to carry was his two katanas, his short sword, his Excrema sticks, flashbangs, one grenade, his twin plasma pistols, and basically his ninja stars, his kunais, and his climbing gear, and a grappling hook for good measure. Now, Izuku would proceed to head down, hitting and fighting the villains with his Eskrima sticks, taking out a good amount while Aizawa was getting down there to help him. Now, everyone would proceed to try and escape, but they would be teleported by Kurogiri. But Suyu and Mineta would be in. I think I said Mineta wasn't here. No, Mineta is here. It's just that Aoyama isn't there. So exclude Aoyama from the story. Now, as Izuku and Aizawa would proceed to take out half of the army of villains, Shigaraki would get pissed off. Him saying, "Nomu, bring out the Nomu." As Kurigi would proceed to bring out the Nomu, and him telling the Nomu to head directly for Aizawa. But Izuku seeing this, knocking out his last villain and pulling out putting back his eskrima sticks into his holster and pulling out his plasma pistols, setting them to stun. Now, him shooting at the Nomu, noticing that the Nomu isn't stopping no matter what he throws at it, so he turns up a level, not putting it to incinerate, but just putting it in a lethal setting. Him shooting at the Nomu actually getting the Nomu to slow down a bit and giving Aizawa enough time to dodge, as he would help Aizawa take down the Nomu, at least hold the Nomu back. Sorry, I'll be right back. Sorry, this will be a short video, but at least get to the sports festival. Now back to what I was saying. Izuku and Aizawa getting the Nomu to slow down, dodging his moves, and Izuku actually hitting the Nomu with his twin plasma pistols, giving them enough time for the students to rally back and telling them to head to 13. Ida actually ended up escaping and getting help. Now we cut to Aizawa getting captured by the Nomu, not getting as badly beaten up and bruised as him in the cannon, but getting his arm broken, and Izuku setting his plasma pistol to a higher setting, hitting the Nomu with the plasma pistol, getting the Nomu's attention, as the Nomu would attempt to rush at Izuku. Now, Izuku would proceed to do a move that is pretty hard to pull off, but it will help him in the long run, even though he doesn't have super strength. Now, the Nomu would rush at Izuku, and Izuku would let his body go limp, taking the full blunt of the blow of the Nomu, shifting his gravitational pull, and directing the blunt force of the attack directly back at the Nomu, sending the Nomu flying back quite a bit, but Izuku would be hurt, but not as bad as he would be if he had taken the full blunt of the blow. Now, as soon as he did that, All Might would appear, and what happened in canon would happen in canon. But Izuku and Aizawa being carried out and being taken to get medical care. Now they would proceed to get a week off of school, but Izuku would heal in 3 days. Izuku proceeding to train non-stop, because as I said, he's more train induced, and he would actually go back to the cabin in the woods to stock up on equipment and to get some things that he had left there, including, I didn't say this, but including his pet wolf that actually was owned by Snake Eyes, not Timber, a new wolf pup named Spike, as he would bring Spike to his dorm and keep him there with him, keeping Spike occupied by chew toys and things that he might need. Now we get to the school day, them being told about the USJ and everyone being, not the USJ, about the sports festival, everyone being excited to show off what they can do, and everyone would proceed to try and ask Izuku to help them with training, because they saw that even though he's quirkless, he is pretty strong. He was able to send that thing flying, and they wanted to know how, especially Todoroki and Bakugo. But Bakugo would take a different route, screaming at Izuku, telling him that he needs to teach him that now, or else he'll blow him the kingdom come. Izuku not saying anything and avoiding him for the rest of the day. They would proceed to train, and that's where I will be leaving it off, because I have one more what if to record, and I am pretty freaking tired. I haven't slept in 2 days, and I'm pretty tired. That's why my brain not work too good. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I will try and save to buy a mic. So yeah, I'll watch out for that, and I hope you guys enjoy. Peace.